Hello and welcome to another episode of the Joe Dunnrite Show. Today we're going to talk about some vintage motorcycles from the 1960s, and it'll be at least a 3 or maybe 4 part series where I walk you through the history of the Tote Gote, the Twister, and the Hot Shot. And so what I'm going to show you here, let me flip this camera around. We've got these vintage bikes from the 60s. This first one is called a Mini Goat, and it was made up in Utah with a company called Tote Gote. And we'll talk about this bike. It's from 1965, although disappointingly I updated it, and we'll talk about that when we go through that series. Then we have 2 other bikes that were evolutions off the Tote Gote, and we'll talk about that. They're called Twisters, and I have 2 here from the mid-1960s also. And then the evolution from the Twister was the Hot Shot, and we'll talk about the Hot Shot. Very unique motorcycles that were actually raced in the 1960s, but then fell out of favor pretty quick in the early 70s when the Japanese motorcycle market came on. But these are very unique. They use very unique motors. Actually, they use snowmobile motors, and when I walk you through that whole history, we'll talk about the evolution of the first motor they used was a Briggs & Stratton 8 horsepower motor, and then they figured out they can put a bigger motor in. So we'll talk about that. So we'll let you go right now, and I'll be back shortly to talk about the Mini Goat.